Welcome again to another episode. This is a very quick update for the Tier 3 tier list. So now, since the Chariot is finally off the meta units, we can lower the arbalists from the double S tier to the normal S tier. They are still amazing, so don't get me wrong, but these two are much better now. The incendiary archers are so good that they are even viable in ranked games, especially in maps where you know that your enemy will surely blob somewhere on the map. So incendiary archers are amazing versus blobs, and they wipe out any Raten spams you will ever face really quickly, since all Raten units take double damage from fire. Keep this piece of information in mind, because a lot of the new players will struggle versus Ratens because they feel tanky, and they actually are, but they are very vulnerable to fire, so use that. Followed by the unpredictable Cordeliers in the double S section. Now the Cordeliers is one of the most devastating charges in the entire game at a very low cost. If you have the Cavalry charge Ruin equipped, it will really help gaining momentum quickly, making your charges even more devastating from closer range, making you able to charge from smaller distance. Just slam this Ruin and some epic doctrines on your Cordeliers and you shall deliver some devastating charges, unless you are stopped by heroes, of course. For the S tier section, I would simply slam in all three Ratens, since they are one of the best anti-blobs unit due to their poison, and at the same time they are very cheap in both cost and leadership, especially the Raten Vipers. And let me stop here for a minute. With their very high ammo capacity, special bleeding effects, someone will say, wait, what is special meaning? What do you mean by special bleeding effect? So when you max out the Raten Mastery, they unlock a new skill. This skill has its unique bleeding, okay? So let me explain this. The normal attack will have a percentage of yellow colored arrows. These yellow colored arrows are normal bleeding of the Raten. I mean, the Raten will have these yellow arrows since level 1. But when you get the full mastery for the Raten Vipers and unlock this new skill has green arrows with special bleeding. Why do I call it special bleeding? Because even if you go against shields and the arrow is blocked, it cannot penetrate the shield, the bleeding of the green arrow is applied. That's the core difference between the green arrow and the yellow arrow. Plus, with the new mastery ability unlocked, when you use it, all their arrows become green, not just a percentage of them. Every single arrow becomes green. That skill alone makes them a monster on the battlefield, making them able to wipe out any other ranged unit with one arrow rain. Also, one very important note for new players: this list, like every single unit in this list, are really so weak. Unless you level them up to the max level, you equip them with really good doctrines, and you get them to full mastery, okay? So this tier list is never meant for level 1 units. Every single unit you see on this tier list is in its place after fully maxing it out in terms of level, mastery, and doctrines. So keep this in mind, so you don't like go and just unlock the Cordeliers and think they will be double S unit. No, they will not. Last but not least, I would still recommend the Squires as the best blue era bandit unit. Why, you might ask? Well, they function literally like the Zhuangji Heavy Cavalry, where when you charge and you clash with the enemy, the cooldown of both skills quickly go down, as you are seeing now in the video. All I'm doing is just charge with the skill number 1 and then quickly charge with the skill number 2. Just keep in mind that sometimes it bugs, meaning you will charge with the skill number 2, but it will not reduce the cooldown of the charge number 1. If this happens, try to press X before charging with the skill number 2. Of course, just to avoid the confusion, the skill number 2 here is the iron side, but when I say skill number 2, I mean the second charge, okay? Let me explain more about why this bug happens. So, for the charge to be initiated, you need at least one soldier to be away from the enemy. Even if the other 20 soldiers you have already engage and literally hugging the enemy unit, if you have just one soldier away or not fighting, he will be able to make the whole squad initiate the charge and apply the cooldown reduction effect. Yet if you don't have this very specific soldier out of the fight, like every single soldier you have is literally hugging the enemy, this might bug the skill, and the charge will not be even initiated, especially the second one. And by the way, the charge attack is around 6k of damage, so guess what? Yes, it's worth spamming. So again, this is the reason why I tell you to press X in case every single soldier is engaged and literally hugging the enemy. You need some distance to avoid this bug. If you know what you're doing, like I'm doing in the video, one soldier not fighting, I see him, I initiate the second or first charge without X, that's because I know what I'm doing, okay? So if you try to repeat this and it keeps bugging with you, just press X between the two charges and you will be fine. And as we continue, the rest of the list are pretty much the same as the previous one. So if you're interested in any of the other units like A tier and below, I really suggest you go and watch that video. But I will stop this video here. This was HELLSING from Elite Legions. See you soon in the battlefield, Warlord.